Good afternoon, traders. It's 25th of September 2017. Yeah, and it's 12:16 at the moment. So this is a lunchtime lever. I'm always talking about levering things. I'm working from home today, and I've decided to do weekly insight during my lunch break, which is a massive lever because what do you normally do in your lunch break? You have a bit of food and you either sit at your desk or you just waste the time walking around town looking at some nonsense. So anyway, I'm making good use of my time here. Which is great because it also frees up my evening to do other things, like go to the football today. So this week, what have we got this week? This week I've got my birthday coming up, so I'm quite excited about that. That's on Thursday. Woo! I'll be the grand old age of 28-ish. Seem to have been 28 for a long time. What can I tell you I've been up to? There's been lots going on. Lots been very busy. Quite a quiet weekend. Did a bit of exploring. I did, when I say exploring, I like to just go and check out random places. So I was checking out this new shopping centre over in Bracknell. So it's far from like the most exciting thing in the world. But it made me have this point here, right? This was this thing on the desktop here was, or it's over there, isn't it really? Was how they've labelled up their lift, you know. So they've got this brand new shopping centre and it's all really nice. And then they've got this going on. And everyone in that lift was confused, myself included, because you kind of get on at level 3 and you're like, level 3, okay, so level 3 is level 4, but then we're actually going down a ground. Anyway, doesn't make sense. So just something very obvious. Everything you do should make sense, right? And that's something that keeps coming up in this world is people seem to make things far too complicated. I'm not saying this is a direct example of it, but simple works. I don't know. Is there a point in there with that? I have no idea. But anyway, that's that I just found amusing at the end of the day. So yeah, we mentioned that. What else has been going on the finance front? My tax return stuff. So last week I was trying to get that in. It didn't submit. I've had a bad experience with the HMRC, to be honest. I've been a bit disappointed with them. I had to download my form. Then I sent it to them as they suggested as a PDF format. Then they replied saying they couldn't take that format, even though they told me to do that. So then I had to download it as an HTML document. I sent that in. So then they fired back something. You know, this is all over a few days kind of thing. Firing back something saying, oh yeah, well, you know, this is what you need to do to fix it. But it didn't make a lot of sense. But they said, you know, in fairness, if you need help, phone up and we'll help you out. So I phoned up. They went through some security checks. Then spoke to this next person that was very helpful, but said they weren't a tax expert. So then they put me onto a tax expert, got hold of them, and they started walking me through this bloody self-assessment form. And after page 1, they said, oh no, I think we need to speak to a technician or something. Got me. Then I went on hold for another 5 minutes and got advised that I'd be called back. So I was like, great. So what time will that be? You know, any idea how long that'd be? 3 to 7 days. I was like, 3 to 7 days? Do you really think I'm going to be sat here surrounded by my tax stuff in 3 to 7 days time just when you call? So I got really annoyed by that, actually, which is a shame because I've always had a pretty good experience with them. Not that I phoned them loads, but I had a few tax issues earlier on in the year due to some shares I had to declare. But is that what it was from? No, it wasn't from that. It was from overpaying my tax. Anyway, blah, 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 blah. So I wasn't over the moon with that. But I thought I'd let you know, in general, the self-assessment process appears to be fairly straightforward. You have to sign up for a government gateway account. That takes a bit of time, so you have to send you something. Then you have to sign up for this other code thing. That takes a bit of time. But once you're actually going, it looks like it's pretty simple to fill in, which is why it's so frustrating, is because I know how much, I know how much how much I owe them, really, and I'm just trying to fill this bloody form in. So anyway, I wait a call for them. So that's my experience of that. What else has been going on? Business idea storming. So yeah, I've been doing a bit of business, throwing ideas around, ended up on my kitchen floor, brainstorming some stuff. But relating to that, I had a meet up with Virgil earlier on in the week. Some of you know Virgil. Awesome guy, really motivating, really inspires me, and we met up, had a curry and some beers, and you know, it's wicked to be able to make all this stuff so enjoyable, you know, because I've genuinely found it enjoyable, and to find other people that, you know, have done it and have kind of done the path before also find it enjoyable, keen to help. It's all really rewarding stuff. So I guess what I'm saying in there is, you know, if you're interested in this stuff, try and find people also that are interested and reach up. You know, I consider myself reaching up when I speak to Virgil. It's starting to sound a bit dodgy, isn't it? But you know, as I say, he's been down this path, so I get a lot from him on on that front. I'm hoping it's the same the other way around. You know, that I'm able to offer things that helps him. I think that is kind of the idea of these partnerships. But you know, all these books I kind of read and everything about, there's so much about, you know, trying to get yourself near people that make you kind of better yourselves, you know. And a lot of you, I mean, I don't know if you're in the same boat as me, but you know, I'm employed every day, and I get a lot through that as well. Don't get me wrong, I get a lot through that. You know, I'm able to learn off of people at work, but I'm not able to learn all this other stuff I'm learning. You know, like I'm not, you know, business. I'm talking about finance and stuff is fine, but you know, like say I want to go and like learn to become really good at yoga. Yeah, I like yoga. I'm not that good at it, and I was thinking, well, I've never actually done it other than just googling and YouTubing stuff. Why not go and get some, you know, yoga tuition? You know, keep just building up your boundaries. Anyway, building up your boundaries, lowering your boundaries, you know what I mean, building up. So that's all good. So there's a really quick update on the kind of life front. Trading wise, I have only got one trade open. It's been a bit quiet at the moment. I'll show you this bund trade that I took, and then we can look into some other stuff. So the bund at the moment, it is actually I've got the wrong screen set up for this. Give me a second, mate. Give me a second. Forgetting how computers work, which is a real shame given. Oh, not that one. Real shame given my career. Where am I going? Let's go for rolling four. Rolling four coming your way now. So this is rolling four, as I call it from a profile. So what was I saying? Bund trade. So daily. I actually was talking about this in my mentor group. You can see here there's some kind of support around this level here. It's kind of gone ting, gone off, gone ting, gone up again. So it made sense that this market might start to turn around this level here. Can I get a circle on there easily? So somewhere around here, you can see it's kind of happened before. So I was looking for a similar area around here. Now, what started to happen was I was starting to look for a buy signal, one that I could go on, and I got one here. Down here, you can see that here. This is a buy signal. So I went in at market actually, which might not have been the best play, but you know it was low risk, so I could have got an order in there. Even better would have been that I put one down here, but to be honest, I probably would have been too scared to do that. But you can see here, you know, my stop was reasonably well placed. My theory was that it, you know, could jump over the 61, but then hopefully it wouldn't go too much below. And I wasn't hiding behind the 50 number because my stop is above the 50. And so far, oh, go away. So far, you know, it is going in my favour, and it's starting to look more bullish on the way up. My plan is to try and ride it back up to these highs up here, but I will trail the stop as well. So yeah, I will start trailing this one, but for now I'm just going to leave it basically. I'm not going to rush to break even. I've done that a couple of times. You could see that you know, in this case here, if I'd pushed it to break even, I could have got clipped out. But if I can kind of see something like this going on, you know, once we get out of this territory, I'll then set it to break even and then just see how the market plays really. So that's bund trade. It is starting to look more and more bullish. Like it's starting to shape up for a nice daily buy. I don't think I'll be adding to it in this position, in this situation. I've got a 0.22% risk for a 1.33 return if it gets up there. So we're geared up really well. What are we? 5, 6, 6 to 1. Call it a 6 to 1 trade, potentially more. But yeah, I'm just going to leave that for now. So that's the only trade I've got open. There are a number of things I'm keeping an eye on from a kind of trend continuation. And this is just me making my notes here. So nothing on the 10 o'clock candle, nothing on the 2 o'clock, you know, 4-hour charts here. And then there's a couple of MACD things I'm keeping an eye on. So this is just what I noted down this morning. So probably a failed trade there. Setting up. So CAD Jappy, let's just have a CAD Jappy Yen. Let's have a look at that. So hang on, that is on this chart, isn't it? CAD Jappy. Yeah, so you can see we've crossed there. Might be worth a sell. We've got divergence between price and momentum. You can see that there pretty clearly. So it's more than possible that this sucker could fall. And where are we? Yeah, I don't know how far it would. You'd say it would fall. Is that going to help us anyway? I don't really know if this trend line's helping. Um, but it could be worth a little bit of a short. But again, you might want to let it kind of pop and then hop back. It does actually, from a signal perspective, it looks pretty nice as a short. But I'm not certain I'm going to take it. I'm just going to keep an eye on it. What have I got? Yeah, the indices are looking like they might want to roll over again. But then, how many times have we heard that? So yeah, on the daily, nice little kind of rolling over potential sell signal there. But I mean, we're in a bullish uptrend. Got the similar over on the DAX, I believe. Yeah, similar. So it's starting to round off, a bit flatter on this one. But I don't know. Shorting the indices are difficult. Here's an interest. Difficult. When I mean difficult, I mean it's got me in pain a number of times, because people seem to quite like just propping them up at the moment. What else was I going to say? Yeah, what's interesting here is I've got the trading bias bullish for German 30, and it's setting up short as well. So that's just an example of how different strategies can conflict. So yeah, I'll stick with that. What have we got coming up? So we've got an ECB rate decision at 2 o'clock today. That's fun for everybody involved in the world, certainly in the financial world. So we'll see what happens there. No doubt we'll get pinged about. As I say, I'm trading the Bund. That could be the end of that trade, but we'll see. Yellen's having a good old chinwag on Tuesday. Yeah, that could be pretty volatile. Other stuff earlier on Tuesday. Yeah, okay, New Zealand rate decision Wednesday. More stuff from Europe, more stuff from sterling. Unemployment change. God, all we need is, yeah, man. Okay, so there's a big week news-wide. Okay, I'd be careful out in the markets today, this week, because there's a lot of red stuff going on. So yeah, just be careful with that. But anyway, that's it for me now. We've been 12 minutes. Give me a like if it's any good. Leave me a comment if you want to ask anything. I really like hearing from you all, because it makes me feel like I'm just not going mad. Yeah, as far as my trading goes, still not amazing. Currently down about 8-9% for the year, but determined to drag it back. I'm still learning, still crushing, and I'm going to make it work. That's a guaranteed. Anyway, love to you all. Make sure if you ever install a lift, you don't label it like this. And that's it. See you later. Live the dream.